For most of human history, the plants we now call weeds were the foundation of the human diet. Dandelion, lamb's quarters, purslane, plantain, chickweed, nettle. These were not pests. They were staples. Native Americans cultivated lamb's quarters as a primary grain. Ancient Greeks prescribed dandelion as medicine. Purslane was a dietary staple across the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and Asia for thousands of years. Then something changed. In the 1940s, the chemical herbicide industry was born, a direct descendant of wartime chemical weapons research. By the 1960s, the American lawn had become a cultural mandate, and every plant that did not conform to a carpet of Kentucky bluegrass was declared an enemy. The global herbicide market is now worth over $34 billion. We spend more money killing dandelions than most countries spend feeding their citizens. And the dandelion, which contains more calcium than broccoli, more iron than spinach, and more vitamin K than nearly any vegetable in a supermarket, keeps coming back every spring, uninvited, for free. Let us begin with what these plants actually contain, because once you see the numbers, you will never look at your lawn the same way. Dandelion greens, Pteroxacum officinale, are one of the most nutrient-dense edible plants on Earth. According to the USDA National Nutrient Database, 100 grams of raw dandelion greens deliver 187 milligrams of calcium, 3.1 milligrams of iron, 508 micrograms of vitamin A, while 778 micrograms of vitamin K, and 35 milligrams of vitamin C. That single serving provides 649% of your daily recommended vitamin K intake. It delivers 4 times more vitamin C than spinach. It contains nearly twice the calcium of kale, and it grows, unbidden, unkilled, unplanted, in sidewalk cracks, drainage ditches, compacted clay, and every front lawn in North America. Now compare that to iceberg lettuce, the most consumed salad green in the United States. 100 grams of iceberg lettuce contains 14 milligrams of calcium, 0.4 milligrams of iron, and 25 micrograms of vitamin A. The dandelion beats it in calcium by more than 13 times, in iron by nearly 8 times, in vitamin A by more than 20 times. One is free, the other costs $2 to $3 a head and is shipped across the country in refrigerated trucks. But dandelion is only the beginning. Lamb's quarters, Chenopodium album, is a plant that most Americans pull out of garden beds without a second thought. It grows in every state. It thrives in disturbed soil. It needs nothing. And per 100 grams, raw lamb's quarters delivers 4.2 grams of protein, 80 milligrams of vitamin C, 580 micrograms of vitamin A, and significant concentrations of calcium, manganese, potassium, and iron. That vitamin C content alone, 80 milligrams per 100 grams, exceeds what you will find in an equivalent serving of oranges. A weed, outperforming an orange, in a nutrient that most Americans take supplements to obtain. This is not a new discovery. Archaeologists studying the Eastern agricultural complex, the indigenous food system that predated the arrival of European crops, have confirmed that Native Americans cultivated a domesticated variety of lamb's quarters, Chenopodium berlandieri, as a primary grain crop in the eastern woodlands of North America. They grew it for more than 4,000 years. The plant was a staple. It was food. It was agriculture. When European colonists arrived and introduced wheat, barley, and eventually corn from Mesoamerica, the indigenous grain system was abandoned. Lamb's quarters went from cultivated crop to classified weed in a single colonial generation. It did not change. The definition changed. Then there is purslane, Portulaca oleracea. If any single plant embodies the absurdity of the modern war on weeds, it is this one. Purslane holds the highest recorded concentration of omega-3 fatty acids of any land-based plant ever tested. A 100-gram serving contains between 300 and 400 milligrams of alpha-linolenic acid, an essential omega-3 fatty acid that most Americans are chronically deficient in. By comparison, the same amount of spinach contains roughly 40 milligrams. Kale contains about 50. Purslane delivers 6 to 8 times more omega-3 than the trendiest salad greens in the supermarket produce aisle. It does not stop at omega-3. The University of Florida's Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences reports that purslane contains the highest concentration of alpha-tocopherol, a form of vitamin E, of any leafy green vegetable tested, at 22.2 milligrams per 100 grams of fresh weight. That is more than 5 times the amount found in a typical cultivated leafy green. Purslane also delivers meaningful quantities of vitamins A and C, magnesium, potassium, and iron. It was a dietary staple in ancient Greece. It was eaten across the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia for millennia. Hippocrates prescribed it. Gandhi reportedly considered it one of his favorite foods, and most Americans spray it with Roundup. Consider stinging nettle, Urtica dioica. 100 grams of fresh nettle contains 590 milligrams of calcium, 670 milligrams of potassium, 4.4 milligrams of iron, and 2.7 grams of protein. It is loaded with vitamins A, C, and K. Research published in the journal Food Chemistry has documented nettle's exceptional mineral density, including significant concentrations of magnesium, chromium, and copper. Nettle has been used as food and medicine on every inhabited continent for thousands of years. Native Americans blanched it. Europeans boiled it into soups. In parts of Scandinavia, nettle soup remains a traditional spring dish. The plant grows in moist soil along trails, rivers, and forest edges. It costs nothing to harvest. It requires nothing to grow. Then there is broadleaf plantain, Plantago major, not the banana-like fruit, the flat, ribbed leaf weed that grows in the cracks of every parking lot and along every gravel path in America. It is packed with vitamins A, C, and K, along with calcium and iron. A review published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology confirmed its anti-inflammatory, wound healing, and immunomodulatory properties. Plantago major has been used medicinally for centuries across cultures, in Persian traditional medicine, in European herbalism, in Native American healing practices. Anglo-Saxon texts from the 10th century refer to it as one of 9 sacred herbs. Today, it is categorized as a nuisance plant and targeted by chemical herbicides. And then there is chickweed, Stellaria media, a small, sprawling, delicate plant that appears in cool weather across lawns, gardens, and disturbed soils worldwide. It is high in vitamins C, A, and B. Its seeds contain nearly 18% protein. Ancient Greeks documented its use. It was consumed to prevent scurvy long before citrus fruits became widely available. It tastes mild. It can be eaten raw in salads. It grows in early spring when most gardens produce nothing. And virtually nobody eats it anymore. These 6 plants, dandelion, lamb's quarters, purslane, nettle, plantain, and chickweed, grow on every continent except Antarctica. They require no irrigation, no fertilizer, no pesticide, no tilling, no seed purchase. They appear on their own. They survive drought, frost, compaction, neglect, and pollution. They are, by every measurable standard, among the most nutritionally dense edible plants available to the human species, and we spend a combined fortune trying to eliminate them from existence. The United States lawn care industry was valued at approximately $60 billion in 2025. The global herbicide market exceeded $34 billion the same year and is projected to reach over $56 billion by 2034. American homeowners and municipalities spray hundreds of millions of pounds of chemical herbicides annually, including glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup, to maintain monoculture lawns of Kentucky bluegrass and Bermuda grass. These lawn grasses produce 0 calories, 0 vitamins, 0 minerals, 0 protein. They exist purely for appearance. This cultural obsession did not emerge organically. It was manufactured. After World War II, the American suburb exploded. Between 1947 and 1951, Abraham Levitt and his sons built Levittown on Long Island, one of the first mass-produced suburban developments in American history. Every house came with a lawn. Every homeowner was required by deed covenant to maintain it. The lawn became a symbol of conformity, prosperity, and moral order. A well-kept lawn meant a respectable family. A lawn full of dandelions meant something was wrong. At the same time, the chemical industry was pivoting from wartime production to consumer markets. The herbicide 2,4-D, one of the 2 active ingredients in Agent Orange, the defoliant used during the Vietnam War, was originally developed during World War II as part of biological weapons research. After the war, it was repackaged and sold to American homeowners as a selective lawn weed killer. It killed broadleaf plants, dandelions, clover, plantain, while leaving grass alive. The marketing was relentless. The message was clear. Weeds are the enemy, chemistry is the solution, and the American lawn should be a uniform carpet of green, nothing else. By the 1960s, chemical lawn care was a cultural norm. By the 1980s, it was a multi-billion-dollar industry. By 2022, the Centers for Disease Control reported that glyphosate, the most widely used herbicide in the world, was detectable in over 80% of urine samples drawn from American adults and children. A separate analysis by the Environmental Working Group found that 87% of children tested had detectable levels of glyphosate in their urine. We are not just killing the weeds. We are absorbing the chemicals we use to kill them. And here's the final